Hey guys, I'm making this video because someone asked me what happens if you have prediabetes or insulin resistance or maybe even type 2 diabetes. So depending on how advanced your diabetes is, carb management may require a much more in-depth discussion than what I'm about to tell you here. But generally speaking, if you have insulin resistance, that means that your body has difficulty dealing with carbohydrates, in particular moving the sugar from the blood. So remember, the sugar gets absorbed and it goes into your bloodstream. And the body has difficulty dealing with that sugar in the bloodstream and getting rid of it. Too much sugar in the bloodstream is basically toxic, so the body's primary function in that case is to move the sugar into the liver and into the muscle cells. Now, for that, you need insulin. And so if you have difficulty with insulin resistance, that means insulin is not going to do a great job of it. What that means in practical terms for people with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance or prediabetes is that you should probably keep your carbs in the smart carbs category. In other words, try not to eat or drink sugary beverages, try not to eat sugary foods. Also, try and watch for anything that's bread or pasta, because that has been made out of powder. Sorry guys, there's a lot of flies. That's been made out of flour, which has been powdered. So try and avoid bread and pasta, or limit it to maybe once or twice a week. And every time you eat carbs, try and measure the portion using a cupped hand. One cupped hand is about 25 grams of carbs. In a day, you want to be about 130 grams of carbs if you're not very active. 130 grams of carbs is kind of what we recommend for most sedentary adults. If you're exercising a lot, obviously you will need to add a bit of carbs for that. But by a lot, I literally mean more than 1 hour of fairly vigorous, like moderate intensity exercise. And weightlifting, generally speaking, does not tend to use a whole lot of carbs, so I wouldn't add a whole lot for that. So only if you're doing like intense physical activity. Okay, back to the carbs. So how many carbs? Well, every meal you're gonna want to have about 1 to 1.5 cupped handfuls of smart carbs. What are smart carbs? I would say once a day I would have some fruit, maybe berries. Berries tend to be well tolerated by most diabetics. That would be like a breakfast choice. And then maybe for lunch and dinner you could have half a cup of potatoes, sweet potatoes, squash, beans or lentils would count as a carb for somebody that's counting the carbs for diabetes purposes. Brown rice can be a carb. So those are all good carbs actually. That's where I would start. And if you continue with that and you notice your sugar is improving, then you know you're on the right track. If you notice your sugar is still not improving despite keeping your carbs down to 130 grams per day, then obviously you may need medication. I would not drop my carbs any lower than that without talking to your physician. You can, but you should probably talk to your physician. Okay guys, bye.